Airports buzz with endless motion, suitcases rolling, announcements echoing, people rushing toward gates with dreams in their eyes. Among the crowd walked 17-year-old Jamal Williams, his backpack slung over one shoulder. This wasn't just another trip. It was his first time flying first class. His mother, Zara Williams, had insisted he experience it. A successful entrepreneur and billionaire investor, she wanted her son to see the world differently, with confidence and pride. But confidence was difficult for Jamal. Being a young black teenager, he'd learned that people often judged him before he even spoke. And as he approached the check-in counter, that lesson returned once again. The airline clerk glanced at his ticket, then at him. Her polite smile faltered. "Are you sure this is yours? First class, row 2? Jamal nodded, his grip tightening on the boarding pass. "Yes, that's my seat." The clerk hesitated, then forced a smile. "Very well. Enjoy your flight." But her eyes lingered a moment too long, and Jamal felt the sting. Airports are not just gateways to destinations. Sometimes they become arenas of judgment, where one look can decide your worth. Boarding began. Passengers streamed down the jet bridge, excitement in their steps. Jamal held his ticket close, his heart thudding. As he entered the cabin, his gaze swept across the first-class seats, spacious, polished, filled with well-dressed professionals. He caught whispers, quick glances, a few smiles, but more furrowed brows. Sliding into his seat, Jamal tried to focus on the window view. But across the aisle, a flight attendant named Caroline Brooks stopped short when she saw him. "Excuse me," she said with a practiced smile. "Are you certain you're seated here?" Jamal swallowed hard. "Yes, seat 2A. Caroline's eyes narrowed. Interesting. I'll double-check." She walked away, muttering something under her breath. Jamal clenched his fists under the armrest. Around him, passengers exchanged looks. Some shook their heads. Others reached for phones, already sensing tension. Sometimes, it isn't the turbulence in the air that shakes us. It's the turbulence of doubt cast upon us by others. The cabin hummed with quiet conversation. Businessmen tapped on laptops. A baby whimpered softly, and the scent of coffee drifted through the air. Caroline returned, her heels striking the aisle floor. "Young man, mistakes happen," she said coolly. "This cabin is for confirmed first-class passengers only." Before Jamal could reply, the elderly man beside him spoke up. "He has every right to be here. We all saw his ticket." Caroline ignored him, eyes fixed on Jamal. "Sir, if you've made an error, it's better to admit it now." Jamal steadied his voice. "I belong here." Her lips curled, but before she could speak again, Zara, sitting 2 rows ahead, turned sharply. Her calm yet commanding voice filled the cabin. "Unless you want a problem that reaches far beyond this flight, I suggest you let my son be." A hush fell. Passengers stared, some recording the moment. Caroline stiffened, then walked away, but her disapproval still hung heavy. Prejudice does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, through smirks, through questions, through the cold edge of doubt. High above the clouds, Jamal stared out the window, trying to disappear into the endless blue. But Caroline's shadow loomed. Every time she passed, her eyes pierced into him. Meal service began. Smiles accompanied every tray until she reached Jamal. She hesitated, her tone edged with disdain. "Are you sure you ordered this meal? First-class passengers usually request in advance." Jamal frowned. "I didn't order anything special, just like everyone else." Caroline smirked. Interesting." She slid the tray down carelessly, nearly spilling water. The elderly woman beside Jamal bristled. Enough. He's done nothing wrong. Why are you targeting him? Whispers rose. Phones recorded. Caroline's mask cracked. If you're unhappy, perhaps Coach would be more suitable. Gasps erupted. Jamal's hands shook, but before he could speak, Zara stood, her heels sharp against the aisle. This boy, she declared, voice steady yet fierce, is my son, and I will not have him treated as anything less than he is. The cabin froze. Cameras zoomed in. Caroline's authority dissolved under the weight of truth. Injustice thrives in silence. But once truth is spoken, it shakes the very walls built to contain it. Passengers whispered, stunned. Jamal blinked, pride mixing with relief. You're his mother? Caroline stuttered. Zara's gaze was unyielding. Yes, I'm Zara Williams. Billionaire, investor, and more importantly, a mother. My son belongs here as much as anyone else. Recognition sparked in a flight supervisor's eyes as he approached. Ms. Williams, I apologize. This behavior is unacceptable. A report will be filed immediately. Passengers applauded. Caroline shrank, stripped of her power. Jamal exhaled, finally free of the weight pressing on him. Zara rested a hand on his arm. Never let anyone decide your worth. Respect is not bound to uniforms or titles. It is proven in the courage to fight bias and protect what matters. When the plane landed, the story had already spread. Cameras swarmed the terminal, reporters shouting questions. Ms. Williams, were you discriminated against mid-flight? Jamal, how did it feel to be targeted? What message do you have for young people watching? Jamal stood tall. This wasn't just about me. It's about everyone who's ever been told they don't belong. We do belong. Applause erupted. Sarah smiled proudly. Caroline, quietly dismissed from her position days later, faded into obscurity. But Jamal's name spread, not as a victim, but as a voice of dignity, courage, and resilience. That evening, as city lights reflected on their car windows, Zara whispered, "This is only the beginning." Jamal nodded, his heart light. For the first time, he wasn't just gazing at the sky, he was reaching for it. It wasn't about where the plane landed. It was about where dignity took flight, proving that justice, once airborne, can never be grounded.